Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. It is Monday, so today we're going to be doing another reaction request. This was from Astrotac, and this is another Hugbees video. It's the presidential candidates video. And I don't know, the last one he recommended to me, it was a lot longer than this one, so you could expect this one to be around maybe 12, 13 minutes. I don't know, just depends on how long I take on the intros and outros. Might be longer, maybe a little shorter, I don't know. But again, I don't want to keep reminding you guys, because I've already gotten 2 people telling me to react to videos that they want me to watch. Guys, I have a place where you can put that. I have it in the community tab of my YouTube channel. So you put what you want in there. If your comment gets the most likes, I will react to it. I just want to make that very, very clear. And also, I don't have the live stream stuff figured out yet. I could just set stuff to premieres for now. So until I figure that out, that's just what's gonna happen. But yeah, anyways, guys, enough of me trying to talk. I'm gonna shoot you guys over into the video, and hopefully we'll have a good time with this one. About the U.S. presidential candidates educational cartoon. Now, the last video that we checked out from Hugbees was turning a sphere inside out, I believe. It started out normal, but then it got a little crazy at the end. So I'm willing to bet that this one's going to be crazy. If not, maybe a little more. I don't know. We'll see what they cram in these 9 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm expecting good things from this. But yeah, with that being said, you guys, the original link will be in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Hugbees and Astrotac. Both links will be in the description. And with that being said, let's get this show on the road.
George Washington didn't actually wear dentures made of wood, as most people believe.
Really?
His dentures were made of ivory, bone, human teeth, and animal teeth, and they were said to be strong enough to crush other teeth. John Adams initially wanted the President of the United States to be called His Highness, Protector of Their Liberties. This was shot down because most senators and representatives thought the title was too grandiose, and a wimpy, unimposing man like John Adams wouldn't suitably fit such a title. Thomas Jefferson offered to sell his own personal library to the Library of Congress after they had theirs burned down by the British during the War of 1812. Only about 97% of Jefferson's books were purchased, as the remaining 3 were too offensively pornographic for preservation. James Madison was less than 5 feet tall and weighed less than 100 pounds. Somehow, he set the all-time bench press record of any president that has been in office at 400 pounds unassisted. James Monroe was the first president to run unopposed and won the election without even having to campaign. His political opponents all dropped out before the race began, claiming that guy just smells really, really weird. John Quincy Adams loved to skinny dip, and one morning his clothes were confiscated by a reporter who only gave them back after he agreed to do an interview. The reporter noted in his article, President Quincy Adams is hung like a horse and tastes like a stallion. Andrew Jackson once killed a man in a duel and swore until his deathbed that the man in question was actually him time-traveling from the future. He was quoted on his deathbed as saying, "Don't go to Disneyland on April 10th, 2030.
Why?
Some real bad shit is gonna happen." Martin Van Buren was the first president to be born in America. Historians are still perplexed to this day how he didn't end up morbidly obese. William Henry Harrison gave a nearly 2-hour-long inauguration speech.
I thought that was his nutsack for a second. He
pneumonia, resulting in his death only a month after taking up role as the president. No one particularly cared. John Tyler had the nickname Baby Cakes Tie Boy because of his particularly effeminate looks and demeanor. It's up for debate on whether or not he sold sexual favors for money, but his presidential addresses were often flirtatious and a little too suspiciously gay. James K. Polk oversaw building the Washington Monument. At first, he called it the greatest achievement of his term, but grew a strong distaste for it after continually explaining to everyone that it wasn't meant to symbolize Washington's penis. Zachary Taylor owned a horse named
meant to symbolize
Whitey, who was even more famous than he was for its service in the Mexican-American War. Tourists of the White House were often confused if Old Whitey referred to the horse or President Taylor. Millard Fillmore was an avid pervert, having married his former schoolteacher and shown up to State of the Union addresses occasionally adorning a custom-made fursuit. Fillmore claimed he had a different fursuit for every occasion, but sources say that no man in America during that time could possibly have that much money. not even the president. Franklin Pierce had a severe addiction to
Interesting.
Pringles canned potato.
I didn't know we had a president that was a furry.
Suffering physical withdrawal during a gala at the White House, Pierce screamed across the ballroom, "Once you pop, the fun don't stop," before vomiting on several dancers. James Buchanan was the only unmarried president. Although he was engaged in his youth, Buchanan called it off after he finally saved up enough money to buy a PlayStation. He regularly mentioned never regretting this decision. Abraham Lincoln doesn't have much written about him in history books, but historians proclaim he may or may not have been the president at one point, and was likely seen in public wearing a hat. Andrew Johnson actually wasn't a human being, but was a dog trained to bark whenever someone said the word president. Most people haven't looked closely enough at the facts to notice this. Ulysses S. Grant's middle initial stands for. So whenever people would ask him what the S in his name stood for, he would reply, exactly. Rutherford B. Hayes was the first president to have a telephone in the White House. Hayes himself wasn't aware of this fact, leading to many disappointed telemarketers.
Ouch.
James A. Garfield proposed he would personally pimp slap anyone who named a fat orange cat after him. Jim Davis has snipers planted around his home
that's where you get
24/7
Garfield
in
from.
case anyone ever figures out how to resurrect the dead. Chester A. Arthur remodeled the entire White House and sold 24 wagon loads of presidential memorabilia to pay for it, including a pair of Lincoln's pants, one of John Quincy Adams' hats, and John Tyler's highest RPM dildo. Grover Cleveland was the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. Benjamin Harrison was the first president to hire a female staff member, a move we're still feeling the horrifying repercussions of today. Grover Cleveland was the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. William McKinley Stair was rumored to be able to kill a person at 100 yards, a claim McKinley himself regularly boasted about. McKinley also had an intense love for his wife, as spectators often noted he could never take his eyes off her. Theodore Roosevelt had more testosterone in his left testicle than any other president combined, because all of their testosterone was stored in Roosevelt's right testicle. William Howard Taft was fat and old and probably sucked a lot of dick. Woodrow Wilson's favorite pastime was sitting in silence. One of his presidential aides once sneezed while monitoring him, and Wilson yelled at him because he feared having a heart attack from being overstimulated. Warren G. Harding's favorite noise was this.
Is that his mating call? Like, why is that your favorite noise?
Usually went by his middle name, Calvin, in public. His full legal name was Calvin Cool Calvin Calvidge Coolvinage Coolidge. Herbert Hoover really sucked as a president, thanks to his power vortex suction and wind tunnel allergen block technology. He also really fucked up handling the Great Depression. Franklin D. Roosevelt faked having polio so people would make him the president out of pity and push his wheelchair around everywhere. When his wife had to change out his fecal matter collection bag, he would often mutter, "Yeah, that's right. Play with my shit, you whore." Harry S. Truman was actually clean-shaven from head to toe and wore an extensive collection of wigs and fake glued-on body hair for all public appearances. When asked how he handled that while being president, he only ever replied, "I'm so very cold." Dwight D. Eisenhower was a 5-star general
with all that
for his
hair.
service
I
in
mean,
both world wars,
like,
and was
you gotta
quickly
put some
promoted
clothes
to
on, man.
500-star general once he
Put
became
some clothes
president.
on.
Eisenhower's only regret in life was not placing in the top 100 player rankings for Rocket League, because that would have earned him his 5 million star general promotion. John F. Kennedy loved parades and tried to attend every one he could. He often would call his favorite parades absolutely mind-blowing. Lyndon B. Johnson DJ'd by the name of Dr. L.B. Jizz Respect.
It took me a minute to see what they did there. Mind blow.
And he only made about $70.
I see what they did there.
Richard Nixon once sweated so hard during an interview that he collapsed from dehydration. On that same day, an entire wall of the White House needed to be rebuilt from the Kool-Aid Man rushing to the president's rescue. Gerald Ford can't spell his own name.
Wait, was that like him trying to help, or was that him trying to?
Nobody has ever been able to identify where President Ford thought of this name. And when asked, he just replies, "Don't you recognize me? It's me, Rickleton." Jimmy Carter often retreats into his pants like a sleeping bag when threatened or surprised. During a televised debate, Carter once hit himself in response to a car alarm going off, and it took the moderator 20 minutes to convince him it was okay to come out. Ronald Reagan doesn't even remember being president.
He looks high.
Because he's dead. George Bush Sr. still thinks the sun revolves around the Earth and plans to visit the sun in 2040 to prove his theory right. Accompanying him will be his dog, Mr. Magic Brush, and a bag of candy corn labeled emergency rations. Bill Clinton once fucked an intern in the Oval Office, and for some stupid reason, people got all mad about it. Once all was said and done, everyone had a big laugh, and anyone who got grumpy that a dude plowed a chick at work remembered they have better shit to do. George W. Bush begged his dad to go with him on his mission to the sun. But George Bush Sr. famously replied, "You're the sun I have here on Earth, but the sun up in space is still mine for the taking." Barack Obama is black. No, I'm serious. It's true. Look it up. Donald Trump starred in numerous movies, including Home Alone 2, Zoolander, The Avengers Infinity War, and Disney and Pixar's Anal Disaster. And finally, as of this video, Joe Biden hasn't served as president long enough to determine whether he's actually real or just an elaborate hologram programmed to pacify the American people while the rest of the government desperately scramble to find the real president. 57-year-old Walter McIntosh of Fuller's Earth, Arizona. If you're watching this, Walter, it's time to come into work.
Written voice by Hugbees. Is that it? Oh, that's it? Okay, that was, shut up. It was interesting, I guess. I don't know, it's Monday, I was a little bored, but, like, I don't know, the facts are, what the hell, like, the fact that, like, who was the guy, was it Bill Clinton, he said? Like, he effed an intern, like, I could have sworn like I heard something about that. I feel like most of this is just satire, like the 400-pound, like the bench press. Like I feel like that's cap. Obviously, like most of this is cap. Like the Ulysses S. Grant, like the S stands for Ulysses stands for Grant. I don't really get that. What was another one? No, stop that. Like what was this with the Kool-Aid man? Like
and rushing to the president's rescue.
What was the Kool-Aid man doing right here? Was he like, was he like jerking off, or was he like, was he trying to spit in his ear? Like, what kind of kinky stuff is the Kool-Aid man doing? I don't know what this is. I don't know what the Kool-Aid man is doing. But then what was the other thing? But like, oh yeah, why would you have a bag of candy corn as your rations? Like a sack of candy corn as your rations? Like, what was the other thing? I'm trying to find, like, the not the Call of Duty, the Rocket League thing. Is it more back here? I can't find it. But then we had, like, a president, I forgot who they said this was, but, like, they were a furry. It's interesting, I guess. Like, everybody has their own kinks, so, I mean, I don't judge. I don't judge. And what was Joe Biden? What they say? He was like a. They say he was like a hologram. They said Joe Biden was like a hologram. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'd be surprised if Joe Biden actually was like a hologram. Like he's just there to like screw us over and just like. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this video in the comments below. Also, the reason I kept looking up was because I know, like, here, like, looking at this camera, looking at the video, like, it looks like I'm, like, half asleep, even though, like, I'm not half asleep. That's why I'm, like, trying to look up and stay as, like, into the thing as possible. It was a good video. It was interesting, but, like, it kept me hooked. But, like, again, like, it's Monday. I'm tired, and I'm usually in the best mood on Mondays. I almost didn't want to upload today, but I know, like, I've got other stuff I got to do, like, as far as videos and schoolwork go. I got a couple SML reactions I got to make. And I don't want to do this tomorrow on top of the SML reactions that I'm going to have to do tomorrow. But yeah, anyways, guys, let me know if you enjoyed this video. And if you did, be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe if you're new, and click the notification bell to get all the latest news and all my latest content. And again, make sure you guys go check out Hugbees and Astrotech. I'll have both links in the description. And also, if you guys want me to react to anything, just head on over to my community tab. It should be the first one that says, and the winner of this video is, and it'll say Astrotech, and then what I said, like the video recommended was, just go there, recommend whatever you want, and if it's the most liked comment, if it's the top comment, then we're gonna react to it. But yeah, with that being said, this is GXcalibur26, signing off.